Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. Now that happened, that's the Mrs. exhaust, it's the Mrs. car, it's the Suzuki Swift. I've driven it before, I've shown you it before on the channel, but yeah, something's wrong with the rear silencer. So the car's either, I'm either going to be looking at the car and saying, right, we need to straight pipe it, or looking at it and thinking, right, it's just a blown gasket, it's a blown seal, we could probably weld it and see if we can revive the back box that's currently on it. But all she cares about at the minute is that it's reliable and that the exhaust isn't going to fall off, which, making that racket, you can imagine why she's concerned. Yeah, I might be straight piping the missus car today, which would be a right laugh. If I straight pipe the girlfriend slash fiance's car, I think it'll be a right laugh. It sounds loud as anything, it's just ridiculous. It just sounds stupid. I'm going to go around to my old man's house now, get it up in the air, have a quick look underneath, see what it needs. And hopefully it doesn't need much. I don't really want to straight pipe it because it is a bit of work. I'd rather it just be a gasket that I can sort out, but we'll see anyway. Catch you in a bit.
A few moments later.
So I can see where it's leaking from. It is going to need, I could weld it, but it is going to need a new back box just because of the angle of the exhaust. It'd be so awkward to try and put a straight pipe on it. I just don't think it's going to be it's possible, but I'd have to get a bend and I'd have to mock it all up and weld it all properly. It's not just after the axle bend where it straightens out, it's just before. It's on the downward incline, if you like, of the pipe. So I can't just lob it off, stick a pipe on, because it'd end up scraping up floor. I'm going to have to get a probably 45-degree bend by the look of it, weld it up, and then get a silencer on the back of it. It's going to end up costing me more money. I would rather just buy a standard rear silencer for it, throw that on, unbolt it at the, it's like a little two-bolted sort of gasket. 2 bolts either side of the pipe where it meets. It's like a flange that's just got 2 bolts to it, should I say. It's that that I'd be able to just bolt off, bolt back on. It says, with the amount of rust on it, who knows. Anyway, I'll show you now. So as you look directly behind, you can see the steam coming out. Nearly. There we go. So it's directly behind the rear silencer. You can see the flange that I was talking about. It's 2 bolts, 1 bolt either side. The gasket in that is perfectly fine, but the rear pipe has broken off of the weld that meets the silencer. So it's that section there that it would probably weld, but I'd probably be welding it again in another 6 months' time. The rear silencer itself isn't in bad condition, as you can see, so I'm going to leave it for now because it has got this extra bracket just underneath here for extra strength. It's not just relying on the pipe itself for strength, so it's not going to move around, and it's certainly not going to break off. But what I do need to do is get a rear silencer for it. I'm not going to mess about. I just need to get a silencer for it, unbolt it there and there on that flange, and hopefully the job will be a good one. But yeah, if it wasn't for that bend that you could see, I would have just put a pipe on it. I just welded a pipe straight over it, or even clamped a pipe over it, just to make sure it was secure and safe, and then welded the little brackets on that hold the rear silencer onto the rubber bushings. So every car's got a pair of like little rubber bushings. There you go. You can just see that one there. So I'd re-weld that back on. Let me get my finger up there. I'd re-weld that bracket there, that metal bracket back on. This looks so weird. Yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd just get a straight pipe, I'd weld those brackets on or make my own, and it'd just be an easy quick fix. But I think what's going to be easier and quicker is just getting a rear silencer for it, unbolting it at the factory point, bolting the new one on. It says I'm probably going to have to cut it because it's rusted over, but you get the idea. It's perfectly sound how it is now. It's safe. It's not sound because it's obviously blowing and it just sounds effing ridiculous, but it'll be perfectly fine. It's not going to break off, and that's what she's concerned about. And it's, you know, she'll be happy to hear that it's secure until her new back box arrives. So that's the plan for that. Unfortunately, we're not straight piping it this time. There's always next time. There's always the next car. Because once I've paid for a standard rear silencer on this, I won't be then choosing to buy a custom exhaust or an aftermarket exhaust or straight piping it thereafter, because there'll be no need. So it's just a shame about that bend and how that bend would make it more difficult. But there's always the Civic Coupe. So we're back in the car now. I've still got my trampy jumper on that I like crawling around on the floor in, but we're going to wait for this to warm up a little bit, and I'm going to probably go for a little bit of a rip, just to let you guys see how it sounds. It just sounds ridiculous. So yeah. So this is it. Sounds ridiculous. Just coming up to a red light, and then there's a little tunnel. I'll just slow down a little bit. So stupid. Oh. So do you want the good news or the bad news?
Bad news.
Bad news. So the bad news is I can't straight pipe it. So because it's on like an angle, I can't really get the pipe on it. Good news is that it's not going to fall off. Because there's like a little bracket underneath it. Is that right with you? So you can carry on driving it until your rear silencer comes, and then it'll just be a bolt off, bolt on.
Right, yeah.
Hopefully. So that's that. She needs a rear silencer, really. I could have just snapped it off where it was already broke and put like a straight pipe on that bit, but I wasn't really feeling that, to be honest. It's on too much of an angle. It'd end up hitting the bumper, or I'd end up angling it down. It just wouldn't look legit. So in the interest of keeping it one original or OEM and reliable, and two quiet, because she does a lot of motorway miles, I'm just gonna have to fit a rear silencer on it. But like I said earlier, there's always the Civic. You can always straight pipe that. So I'll catch you in the next one anyway. If you liked the video, if you stayed tuned in for this long, then please give us a thumbs up. It really helps. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.